Welcome, my beautiful souls, and welcome, my gorgeous Tauruses. This is a special reading for you. This is a soulmate reading. What I want to know is, are you going to meet or come together? Because some of you may already know who it is, with your soulmate by year's end. And year's end is closer and closer and closer. So it's only a couple months away. Um, so we're going straight to our spirit guides, and I'm asking six specific questions that, let's just say, they've been pretty amazing. So hats off to our guides. Um, so what we're going to do, we will um, we'll use a Mother Mary. We'll start with Mother Mary. I'm going to use the major arcanas, but I'll tell you how in a minute. But while I am pulling for Mother Mary, I would say just relax your mind, and the rest will follow. Be colorblind. All right, Mother Mary. By the way, this is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising. I know many of you are intuitively guided now, and I just thank you for paying attention to your intuition. Okay, that's way too many, but we will take that. Marriage. Interesting. I make a commitment to a healthy relationship with God, myself, and my partner. Marriage. Wow. Nothing like right to it. Um, so what we're going to do is we're going to use the psychic tarot, which I'll give a quick shuffle. Everything's pre-shuffled. To answer the question. Again, we have 6 questions. I'm doing this rather quickly, but again, already pre-shuffled. I honestly don't like seeing the cards until you see the cards. We're going to use the Cosmic Tarot to go below. Then we cut. Just means everything is ready. And then we'll use the Crystal Vision to go above. So interesting, Taurus. I could have swore I did your reading. And then when I went to look, you weren't there. I was like, oh my God, I could have swore I did your reading. So maybe I did. Um, I don't know. I will search. But anyway, so these are the questions I'm going to ask. Number one, your soulmate's subconscious thoughts about you right now. I say subconscious because when you're soulmates, remember that you're soul connected for eternity. It doesn't mean every soulmate has to be a lover. Soulmate can be a best friend, can be a local butcher, can be your neighbor. A soulmate can come in for a second, just to help, like you're about to take a left when you're meant to take a right, and they just kind of push you right back on path again. But in this reading, we're looking for soulmate love, and I'm looking for ultimate soulmate love. So, what I mean by that is marriage is the perfect card to come out because I'm looking for that ultimate commitment. It doesn't have to be marriage, um, but love that, listen, we both want to make a commitment. Okay, so your soulmate's subconscious thoughts about you now. Oh my. Deception and envy. Interesting. Interesting, Taurus. The strength card above it. And the Eight of Swords below it. Listen, I feel like there's someone's energy where there seems to be like this internal battle. Now, do they know this? Do you know them? It could be. But even if you haven't met in this lifetime, this may be a battle that your soul really, and I know some people don't like this, but our soul doesn't come down here just to love. It comes down here to experience, to have adventures, to overcome, right? To challenge oneself, to grow. But it does feel like there is some like earthly type energy that may have had some of you stuck, you know, and it feels like a battle that could only be won within. Hmm. Interesting, the two eights are mirroring each other also. I don't feel like the Seven of Swords, which says deception and envy. For some reason, I'm not feeling that. I'm feeling more of like just now, well, it depends, what each's personal issues. I mean, we all have it, right? We all carry that baggage. It's just, do we outgrow it or do we not? So it's an interesting view. Well, let's turn the page and let's look at you with them. Spiritual strength. Interesting. I'll tell you why in a second. King of Wands. And then we have the Death card. So that's endings. That's doors that are closing. Can I just tell you, I feel, and I don't say this very often, because I feel like it should be more like Doctor Heal Thyself. But I feel that there is someone, well, probably more than one, where I feel like this journey has been about healing. Um, I feel like they're coming in like towards the tail end of something. And I literally feel like their job, not their job, their purpose, other than to love you, is to help you. And it's interesting because you have a self created prison, and only I can uncreate that. But yet, this energy seems to transcend that. Even the death card, yes, it speaks about endings, and you do have a nine right there. Final reflection, closing a door. But I feel like this is also talking about lifetimes after lifetimes, maybe nine lifetimes together. So let's just say it's one way or the other. And very seldom do I say where we, someone has a personal issue that we should come in and try to fix it because it's really their lesson, their job. But I feel like this is different. This is different. This is different. All right, well, let's keep going. 2025's potential of meeting. Hmm. Positive movement forward. Eight. Three eights so far. That's good. That's abundance. That's being on the right path. It means that new paths are opening up and it's positive. So it feels like there's a good chance. This could be someone who lives in a different location than you. But in the long run, I don't feel like that would stop this. 7, 8, 9, 10. Now it's on 10. The star. Your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. And this is about manifesting them, bringing them into your reality. You got to believe for it to be so. It's like I do feel this energy of putting that intention out there, like telling the universe, I am open. But then you have to be open. This means dreams are coming true. And we are looking at 2025, so this is a very good omen. I think what I want to say here is like, because I feel like who's ever back here, you may not feel. It's not that I don't feel like you would want love. Maybe you don't feel worthy of it. And they're coming in to show you that you are. The Five of Pentacles. Man, they're like a helping hand. Now, it could be you. You could be, it feels like it's one or the other. I feel like what this is saying is, in the Five of Pentacles, it talks about things happening like outside of our control. But usually in the Five of Pentacles, you don't have the luxury of just like doing nothing, like crying in my bed. I have to keep moving forward. And I feel like someone is making that conscious effort, uh, trying to be positive, even in the darkness, like trying to be like seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, because there is one. And this feels like it's happening really the way it was meant to happen. I don't feel like this person or you, whichever way it's going, is coming in to fix you. They're coming in to remind you, really, of who you are and your worth. That's what it is. Whether those words are spoken, they're definitely going to be shown. But I also feel like the words will probably be spoken also. All right. So did we love in this lifetime and or a past lifetime? I had to figure out how to reword that. Look at this star. So we have double Aquarius on the board, but look how close they are. And they're sharing positive movement forward. They're sharing the 8. As above, so below, no beginning, no end. It's like they're both are wishing upon that same star. They may not know that. And it is like the star is the guiding light here. We have the King of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Doesn't have to be, though. Could be Aquarius. Five of Wands. This bottom line is difficult. You have the Five of Wands, which can talk about drama. but it's usually other people's drama that we get pulled into. And, that could have happened. And it may have sent someone somewhat on a whirlwind to the point where, they built this prison, they built these walls. So I do feel like one of the soulmates has a lot or had a lot to really overcome. Like just found them. And in a way, I feel like I just found myself in this situation. But I want to remind you again, it's nothing that the soul can't handle. Our human mind might tell us otherwise, but our soul would be like, no. Okay. Um, where am I at? Question 5. Oh, divine's energy in supporting this union. It's funny, I start and then I stop. Awareness. Look at that. Your chakra's being activated. It feels like it's go time. Judgment. Interesting, I just said it feels like it's go time because judgment is calling you to the present moment. And we're looking at the divine energy supporting this union, and then judgment comes out. Well, that is your whole spiritual team. And they do come with a message. Like, I am sending you signs, and they're in your present moment. They're not back there, they're not out there, they're right here, right now. It is about a rebirth that makes sense with soulmates. Look at that. And the Seven of Swords, where we begun, we kind of end with this part of the spread. Where we begun, we end. And look at the awareness over that now. Over that Seven of Swords, like awareness and judgment. Wow. This definitely felt guided. I feel like I'm going through it quick, but I also feel like it's answering it quick. So let's look at the bottom of the decks. We have the Prince of Swords. We do have the King of Swords, so for some of you, could be. Though I don't love the line he's in. We have movement, choices, and decisions. Wow. That definitely feels the case. But it's only to better oneself. It's only to truly make one's life easier, though when you're in it, it doesn't feel it. But sometimes it's just taking a step forward, and that starts to change everything. Three of Wands, optimism. Interesting it's mirroring judgment because this is someone in the present moment. This is someone who's let go of control and is saying to divine, I trust that my divine ships will come in their divine timing. In the meantime, I'm just going to be optimistic about right where I'm at. And, that is a decision. Let's say, like, well, I want to be optimistic, but I can't get my mind there. I would say use music, use nature, um, take a bath, light some candles and put some music on. not sad music. Gets your heart moving, gets the blood pumping. Hmm. You know what's interesting is all of a sudden I just felt the opposite of like what one is going through in this lifetime, the other went through in a previous lifetime. So whoever is coming in as a savior, so to speak, was the one who was saved in the last life. And when I say saved, I don't mean that I'm taking a cheater and trying to make him loyal. That's not what I'm talking about. Right? I'm not taking someone who doesn't know how to respect me and say I'm going to fix them. No. This is about someone's internal battle. And I feel like it's more the other's spirituality and their belief in that person is the difference. I feel like they're both wishing upon the same star. You know, when I see deception and envy and I just look across this line, someone could have certainly have had to have dealt with that. And of course you don't want to deal with that again. And you could have like put some walls up. But that's not serving you moving forward. But I could definitely see that for some. All right, let's go ahead and do the major arcana that is supporting or connecting the two of you. We'll give them a little cut. Look at that. The devil. Card of Capricorn. Temptations. That's what I'm feeling over here. Like being tempted to the dark, even though that's not what I want. But maybe not feeling strong enough. Well, remember the devil is great at casting illusion and it's sitting right next to your spiritual team. Now, for some of you, it's simply Capricorn. But I do feel that because I feel this sense of this awareness is so important. And I feel like it comes in time. But that makes sense. That just makes sense to me. Because that's what I feel like. I feel like I didn't mean to be here, yet here I am. I didn't mean for this to happen, and yet here I am in the thick of it. Beautiful. Look at that, the Hierophant. Well, there's your light. So it's interesting because the devil is now surrounded by the light. And, you know, we have power over the dark. The Hierophant, your major arcana, you know, you're a five. Change. It's just part of your life, right? But I love the Hierophant's energy because it really feels like a blessing over this connection. Remember, this is what's connecting you. You know, even the shadow part of it was meant to happen. It was meant to be. It's probably the soul's lesson. And, you know, I feel like when we learn a soul's lesson, then there's a soul's blessing. And here is the Hierophant blessing. It also speaks about morals, belief systems, but I feel like matching, right? Like similar. Doesn't have to mean we're exactly the same. Look at this, the world. Your next chapter. By the way, I feel like the world is the most spiritual time for the rest of your life. It's like you've seen some spiritual shit and you can't deny it. This is the Fool in the middle. So it is taking that leap of faith. When you see the world, it means something has come to completion. Well, I feel like the shadow, the darkness, and the light is replacing it. That is really quite beautiful. Who's ever in all this heavy energy down here is coming to an end. Now listen, movement, choices, and decisions. It doesn't mean that, I feel like it still is like moving myself forward, actively seeking the light, you know, being optimistic when I know I'm being pessimistic. And I just feel like that's all the energy that's being sent out. Um, and then I just feel like it's going to be. All right, let's bring in the romance angels. Your reading is very clear. At least to me, it is. This reading was all about the journey. It was all about the journey and understanding the journey. So then, when this, what feels like is going to be a union, takes place, then it can be all that it can be. No restrictions. Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. Look what she's doing. She's out walking in nature. I definitely feel that's her spirit guide, like the one that she talks to. And I definitely feel she's getting guidance. Some of you, that may be, it's like breathing. Just taking a deep breath. Maybe you needed to separate yourself from the world. Or maybe they needed to separate themselves, and it's just temporary. Maybe some was hanging. It's funny, I was just going to say friends. Someone's hanging with some friends who, seem to pull me into lower vibrational energy. And I'm not putting down the friends. I'm just saying if I'm wanting more, right, then I have to think about my energy. And then we get let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. All right, one more, and we'll let it be. Well, that definitely wanted to come out. Look at this, Taurus. True love. That just gave me goosebumps. True love. Wow. This is a romance of a lifetime. This is a romance of a lifetime. True love. Broken pieces and all. And I'm going to let that be. I feel like that was perfect. And I thank our guides and I thank you. I will see you next time at our table. I loved it. I loved it, Taurus. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.